Highness, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates. And it's quite appropriate that today's session talks about partnership and innovation, because certainly the creation of Etihad Airways was about innovation, diversification, and looking over the horizon of how you build an aerospace sector where an airline is at the heart of that strategy. Etihad Airways is a young airline. It's a different strategy. We're not the largest of the Gulf carriers, but we're certainly one of the innovative ones. Organically, we operate over 120 aircraft, but to compete on a global market, we do have a differing strategy based on code shares working with 49 other carriers worldwide, deep commercial agreements to stretch the partnership through frequent flyer and distribution, investments in a range of airlines, and more importantly, taking advantage of the crossroad of the Gulf to create connectivity worldwide. And as John mentioned, the strategy is differing. We have invested in a range of other airlines from Alitalia, Air Serbia, Air Berlin, Air Seychelles, Etihad Regional, Virgin in Australia, and Jet Airways. And that's been a strategy to take advantage of a global market, to become competitive in providing reach in a digital strategy. As a young airline, we've had to compete with carriers that have been established for decades, that have brand, bases, infrastructure, in some cases government-owned and gifted, whereas on our side, we've had to build from scratch. And the ability through partnership has enabled us to compete, to create a network, to achieve scale, and quite frankly, to create a strategy that is different. It's about competition, it's about cost, but more importantly, in this industry, and Khaldun mentioned about the climate in his presentation, it's about the flexibility to adapt, the flexibility to change. And for us, as a grouping of airlines, the benefits have been wide-ranging, from economic and operational collaboration to shared approaches to growing network, reaching markets beyond what may be allowed from a bilateral process, cost reduction, procurement, looking at synergies, to focus on the guest experience, to ensure we provide choice and competition, but as importantly, to create jobs, to create opportunities to partner with other sectors, and quite frankly, achieve economic development and a catalytic effect into the home market. And we're seeing those examples here in the development of Etihad Airways just over 12 years, and the way that we've worked with our partners, with Airbus, with Boeing, with GE, Rolls-Royce, how those partnerships have moved to other partners within Abu Dhabi, such as Mubadala, how we've taken advantage from a scale perspective with IBM, SAP, to negotiate deals that aren't only available to Etihad, but right across our airline partners. Whether it be airports, whether it be service providers, the ability to work as one to source has been a major opportunity. At the same time, from a brand perspective, through our partnerships and a range of partnerships in soccer with Manchester City, with stadiums in Australia, we've been able to promote our brand worldwide in very targeted approaches. So what does that mean? What's it mean for our partners? It's about winning. In any relationship, you have to win. You have to win. And certainly we have a very clear purpose and vision to work with the right partners in the right markets. Hence our investment in India with Jet Airways, where prior to investment, we had 2% of the market. Today, with Jet Airways, we're the market leader outbound from India with 21% of the market. In Serbia and Seychelles, taking small airlines and rebuilding, where they're now profitable businesses in their own right. And with Alitalia in Europe, taking an established legacy carrier and reshaping accordingly. Now this gives us the opportunity to focus on skills, resource sharing, and looking at how we build businesses to become much more focused. It's about governance, and it's about truly building a strong partnership. And in partnerships, you have to win. As Giovanni Bisognani, who is the former DG of IATA, and in fact sits at our board at Alitalia, if one of the partners in a partnership is losing his shirt, while the other is counting his money, it's no longer a partnership. So we're very focused on how we make these partnerships win. But the most important factor of any partnership is our people. We, within Etihad Airways, have 140 different nationalities within the business. And ensuring that we have the right skills, the right focus on people development is fundamental. And what we're very proud of here in Abu Dhabi, we've been able to work with other partners such as New York University, but in fact the whole academic estate of Abu Dhabi to build programs in technical, in academic, in MBAs, and in fact being able to build a strong cadet pilot program. And from an investment perspective and how you develop and ensure your people have the right opportunities to grow their career is that through a recent survey, 93% of our staff were proud to work with Etihad Airways. And that's fundamental in business, it's fundamental in service, it's fundamental in achieving success. And partnership is very broad. It doesn't just mean here within Abu Dhabi, it's how we work across our estate. Because today, it's not about the home market. We operate to 6 continents of the world. So having global expertise, having the ability to extend reach and deliver local expertise is fundamental. I think aviation is key in this era of globalization because aviation is about connectivity. It's about the ability to expand. We see that in other sectors, in communications, in other areas of transportation. We're seeing the impact of liberalisation. We've seen how changing political situations are able to open new doors, in some cases, close doors. And the ability to look at this market as one. Look at a market as one. And certainly the crossroad that the Gulf, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, Doha provide is unique. On the back of aerospace technology, aerospace development, one-stop flying to all continents of the world. In some cases, parts of the world where we've seen European carriers retreat due to, from a network perspective, seeing they can make more money transatlantic or in other parts of the world, we've been able to open up India, South Asia, and parts of the world where, in fact, growing economies couldn't be reached. Partnership is also about, here within our relationship, how we build with our partners. We're very proud of the relationship with Strata. We're also proud of the ability in the past years to be able to work with Labatla, with Galdoon and Hermé, to develop with Boeing, with Airbus, with Rolls-Royce on the back of our fleet deals, capability to ensure that we're leveraging the investment in aerospace here in Abu Dhabi. And I think when you talk about innovation and looking at ways to build relationships with partners, these ones in particular have been hugely successful. And innovation is fundamental. Back to the roadmap. We had the opportunity to produce and build an airline on the back of a vision. But that's what the UAE is all about. Certainly it aims to enter the Global Innovation Index, the top 20, by 2021. It is about creating an environment, a culture that encourages innovation through partnership, attracting the right firms, pioneering firms, and encouraging the private sector to establish innovation and scientific research centres to develop innovative products and services. And that's key in business, because we're in a world today where we're seeing innovation as we move to a digital society. We're seeing new business such as Uber, Airbnb, Facebook, and Netflix that have broken new boundaries, taking advantage of technology, innovation, with business, interacting in a way that 5, 10, 15 years ago was unimagined. So in a competitive environment such as aviation, we know that a sustained innovation process is fundamental. We have here, in fact, away from our head office, a campus that we call the Innovation Centre, where we're continually looking over the horizon, 5, 10, 15 years out, 20 years out with partners, whether it be safety, whether it be service, on what is happening with technology. How is buyer behaviour changing? How is technology enabling to ensure that we constantly plan ahead? And quite frankly, that we draw on the inspiration from the best that the world has to offer in hospitality and transportation. An area such as that, for us, with our A380 flagship product, was a resonance. When we negotiated the agreement with Airbus to only acquire 10 A380s, at that point in time, we were researching focus groups, looking at the cost, looking at the weight, looking at the range of these aircraft to ensure that we took advantage of the economics of the aircraft, but had product and service that was unique. And when you go outside, there is a stand here, and any of you that would like to buy a ticket back to New York or to London on the Resonance, we're more than happy to help you. You'll find the prices, well, the price isn't that bad. Innovation. You know, innovation goes into so many areas. You know, we work with the Masdar Institute here in Abu Dhabi on fog prediction. We're working on new digital customer innovation systems. We're working with Abu Dhabi Airport Company on a new midfield terminal to ensure in 2017, 2018, the best experience is available. We're working right across the board with partners in aerospace to ensure we're taking advantage, whether it's baggage systems, whether it's technology for forecasting, whether it's pilot training, to ensure we're best in class in all areas. And having green credentials isn't just talking about being green, it's in fact about delivering on being green. And today we see with our corporate customers, our travel partnerships, the number of bids when we negotiate for major accounts where we have to in fact table our green credentials to ensure that we're relevant and in fact that we're able to build. And again, vision, innovation through Masdar, working with Boeing, working with Total to ensure that we have projects over the horizon to take advantage of sustainable production in fuel. And we're very proud of the developments here in Abu Dhabi. So why is innovation? Why are conferences such as this important? Because it's about staying relevant. It's about cutting edge. I'm very focused on buyer behaviour, segmentation, different markets, about how I work with partners to think outside the box, how we think with partners to win, about research, design to ensure that we're best in class. And we talk a lot about best in class within the business. Best in class is about safety, it's about product, it's about the economic benefit of the business, and it is in fact about making money. And that's important because we're in a business, a global business, where opportunities are certainly available on one hand, but the threats and managing risk is key on the other. Certainly on the opportunity side, we see through partnership and innovation a way to improve the process. And improving the process in any business, not just airlines, is fundamental. Because it is about the consumer on one hand, it's about purchase, but it's about the lowest unit cost and improving efficiency. It's about recognizing that you just don't have one big idea. It's about the chain, it's about the process, about the product, and it is about, in fact, time to market. And no one has the monopoly on innovation. We knew in launching our new product, the competitors, once they were able to absorb it, understand it, would also be looking at how they could step change moving forward. And it's about being flexible. It's about being flexible. It's about understanding how different markets work, different markets behave, and taking the advantage to react. That's the opportunity, and that continues. And we've seen that firsthand in how we've built this airline here in Abu Dhabi into a global brand, but as importantly, how we've worked with, co-chair and invested with our equity partners. But we are in a challenging world. Risk and threats, and there's a range of areas when you're operating through 6 continents, different cities, different markets. There's the political challenges, there's regulation, there's protectionist strategies. We've had the challenges in the last 12 months in the USA with the major 3 US carriers targeting the Gulf carriers. We have now a dialogue in Europe with the EU on Gulf-European relationship in regard to aviation. We have the challenges of terrorism. We have a responsibility in the aviation sector to ensure that the aircraft, the guests, and the crew are always in safe hands. The economic challenges, but as importantly, the consumer. In a digital society, the focus on loyalty is fundamental. And failing to plan, failing to innovate means you fall behind. Air travel. To be given this opportunity today at a conference such as this to thread air travel through is important, because air travel is the lifeblood of a modern, globalised economy. It's proven, it has an impact on trade and tourism. It has an impact by the nature of our competitiveness on innovation. But more importantly, because of people such as you have choice, and how you take advantage of strategies, global strategies, rethink strategies is certainly fundamental to compete. And quite frankly, the world isn't changing. It's already changed. And partnership and innovation are critical in a new globalized economy. And success in a digital future depends on adaptability, how to implement effective technologies, rework strategies, understand risk, understand culture, and develop talent. And this conference over the next couple of days, this summit, gives all of you the opportunity to debate, review, consider partnership and innovation. It's a pleasure to be here this morning, to welcome you to Abu Dhabi, enjoy the summit, and some of you, I hope, enjoyed it travelling on Etihad Airways. Thank you.